What is it about a human that makes it wrong to enslave them?
It's dehumanizing. I say dehumanizing, but it's more than just being a human. It's any kind of forced upon situation is...
It's objectifying.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you like to answer some questions? This is like a social experiment. It might be challenging at times, all right?
Okay.
What do you think about forced child labor?
Unacceptable. We have child labor laws for a reason, but anybody being forced to do any kind of labor is incorrect.
Would you agree that we take advantage of them being more vulnerable than us as adults if they work for us, if we force them to work for us?
I absolutely think that is the main issue with child labor, is the fact that there is the disparity of age, the fact that they can't really stand up to adults the way that another adult could. They are younger and easily taken advantage of.
What do you think about slavery?
Same thing with any kind of forced labor. It's wrong. It is dehumanizing. I think that anybody who's taking part of it knowingly or anybody who's taking part of it knowingly is wrong. There's absolutely no excuse for slavery or forced labor of any kind.
Would you agree that we treat them as commodities? It's a problem, like they're owned as property?
Yes, I do think that is a part of the problem. You can't own another human being. Taking money from them, you're taking their skill, you're taking their health. There's a lot more that goes into what is wrong with slavery on an individual basis.
What is it about a human that makes it wrong to enslave them?
I don't think it's necessarily even just being a human. Looking at things, parallels like SeaWorld, forced labor. The thing that makes it wrong is that nobody should be forced to perform for someone else. It is more than just using that person as a commodity. Like, it's dehumanizing, and it's... I say dehumanizing, but it's more than just being a human. It's any kind of forced upon situation is...
It's objectifying.
Yes. Whether it's labor, whether it's sexual advances, anything that is forced upon somebody is inherently wrong.
If a slave owner was to justify owning a slave because they think that the slave is here for them, what do you think about that?
I would say wrong on two accounts. A slave owner could never justify slavery in any kind of way. And the second part of that is that no person is here for anyone else, especially in a sense where there's ownership, there's authority. A person, like, you can't, people do it, but you should not be doing that.
Should we care more about the desire of the slave owner or about the slave being enslaved?
Obviously, we should care more about the slave being enslaved. A slave owner or anybody forcing labor, they are already getting what they want in means that are unacceptable. They're doing it in ways that are should be addressed, should not be happening.
So in times of chattel slavery, there were welfarists and abolitionists. And welfarists thought that basically it was fine to not abolish slavery if we treated slaves pleasantly and they didn't suffer too much. What do you think about that?
Again, wrong. No, just because you treat somebody well does not make it okay to treat them like you own them either.
So what do you think veganism is?
Veganism? I think it is a very conscious effort to not eat any animals or animal byproducts. Am I correct on that?
All right. So the reason why I put you all these questions and answers is because the answers explain very well the principle of veganism. A lot of people think that veganism is just a diet, but really it's the stance against animal use and exploitation and ultimately slavery. So yeah, we agreed obviously on all the answers you gave. They are very straightforward, but a lot of people don't necessarily see what's going on with the animals as slavery when really it's what it is because they're owned as property, etc.
Yeah.
And so what would prevent you from opposing animal slavery and exploitation and use and living vegan?
I don't think anything really prevents me from it mentally. I was a vegetarian for about 4 years. Medically, I just was anemic. My doctor was, I was taking zinc pills. My doctor was just like, you can't do vegan.
Is it iron that you use?
Iron, yes.
Yeah.
I was taking all the supplements, but it was just not enough for my body. So I had to start eating meat again.
Right.
I generally don't still to this day. I'm not a big meat eater. I do eat it, but...
Well, I want to talk to you about this point first, and then we can go into other reasons.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. You know that most doctors don't have a nutritional training necessarily?
I do know that. I've been to like a nutritionist before as well. Yeah.
The women in my family are anemic very often, and I'm part of these women. I have a hard time absorbing iron, like the women in my family that are not vegan. And so I have to take an iron supplement. And that's what really usually anemic people have to do when they have problems with iron. There's this stance from the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. They've stated that a well-planned, fully plant-based diet is suitable for all ages pregnant women athletes. So that's something that can be really empowering to know when you don't necessarily know that this is out there, So maybe it can help to know that other people that have these issues of anemia have actually been able to be on a fully plant-based diet,
Okay.
Apart from that, what would prevent you?
That nothing would actually prevent me outside of availability of, and like I shop at the co-op, so availability of fresh produce, nice produce. Other than that, there's really nothing preventing me from not eating meat. Like I said, I really don't for the most part.
And of course, that also encompasses, like all the ways we use animals like milk, eggs, fish, and even beyond diet, buying wool, leather, all this stuff, even honey, because it's still exploitation. Sounds like you're more concerned about the freshness of produce. Is that what it is?
Like freshness and availability. I realize like we're in Montana, so like it is hard to get decent produce, like we're not necessarily in the best location for that, but there are options out there.
It's an interesting point because I feel like as a vegan, I kind of see it as like it's the same problem for a non-vegan and a vegan because we all need this produce to be healthy right at the end of the day. And when we think of a fully plant-based diet or vegan diet, most people think, well, it has to be whole plant-based food, veganized meats or veganized whatever. Yeah. If you want to go that route as well.
Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of the Impossible Burger. Meat substitutes are great.
Thank you for being so open-minded.
Thank you.
And I just want to say before you go that we've talked about all these issues with human slavery, but when it comes down to it, animals are also individuals going through slavery right now for our choices when we're not vegan, right? And so until the day that you do go vegan, we will be enslaved and exploited and all this stuff for you.
Thank you for giving me something to think about. Appreciate that. You have a great day.
Have a great day.